Florida just changed one of its buildings permit law, and a lot of homeowners are misunderstanding what it actually means. Before you start your next renovation, this is what you need to know. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Florida and Miami Real Estate News. I'm Belmis Montesino, broker of iconic Miami Realty, and I'm here to break down the biggest real estate headlines across Florida. The latest update in the Miami market, luxury real estate, even my favorite local spots in South Florida. But even more importantly, I'm here to explain what all of it means for you. Or just curious about what's happening in our market, you are in the right place. So let's just start with the story that is getting more attention across Florida this week. Because if you own a home and you're planning a renovation, this is something that you will definitely want to know. As of July 1st, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a new law, HB 803, focus on building permits and home inspections. Now, I already seen a lot of confusion online because a lot of people are saying, great, we don't need permits anymore. Well, that's not exactly true. What this law actually does is just make certain small home improvement projects a little easier by allowing some of them to move forward without a building permit, as long as they meet very specific requirements. So let's talk about what that actually means. If you own a qualifying single-family home, a project may be exempt from a building permit if the total cost is less than $7,500. The work is completely non-structural. It doesn't involve electrical, plumbing, air conditioning, gas, or any other mechanical system, and the property isn't located in the flood or hazard designated area. And there is another important rule. A homeowner cannot take a large project and divide it in smaller projects to make it qualified. That's specifically prohibited under the new law. So what kind of project might qualify? Think about cosmetic improvements. Maybe you're replacing floor tiles, fence panels, replacing gutters, or making another minor upgrade that does not affect the structure or safety of your home. Those are the kind of projects this law is intended for. Now, this is the part that is really important. Permits are still required for electrical work, plumbing, HVAC, roof, gas, structural changes, even some windows and door replacement, room additions, and they're also depending on your city and county. Here is an easy way to remember. If your project affects the safety or the structure of your home, you need a permit. And one more thing, even if you think your project qualifies for an exemption, don't assume you can start working. Every city and county has their own process to verify that the project actually qualifies. So before you start any renovation, call your local building department to contact a licensed contractor. That 5-minute call can save you thousands of dollars and lots of unnecessary stress. Permits still exist for a reason. They're there to protect the homeowners and make sure that work is completed safely and according to code. And that's exactly what I always say. The headlines tell us what changed. My job is to help you understand what it means for you. Of course, changes on the state laws are just a piece of the puzzle. So let's shift our focus closer to home and let's see what is happening right here in South Florida. One of the biggest trends we continue to see is an increase on inventory. Simply put, buyers continue to have more homes to choose from than they have a few years back. Because of that, homes are taking a little longer to sell and negotiations are more common. Now, does that mean the market is crashing? Absolutely not. What we are seeing is something more healthier. The market is becoming more balanced. For buyers, this is good news. You have more options, more time to make decisions, and in many cases, a little more negotiating power. For sellers, it means strategy matters more than ever. Pricing your home correctly, preparing it properly, and presenting it beautifully can make all the difference. But the homes that are well priced and show well are still selling. They just need a little bit more planning than they did during the peak sellers market. One thing is clear, South Florida continues to attract attention from all over the world. And that brings us to one of my favorite parts of the show, Celebrity Real Estate Watch. One of the biggest real estate stories of the year involves Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He's reportedly building an incredible estate worth around $170 million on Indian Creek Island, better known as Billionaire's Bunker. The property is expected to include nearly 30,000 square feet of living space, spectacular waterfront views, a private dock, resort-style amenities, and the kind of privacy you could expect from one of the most recognizable people in the world. But honestly, the house isn't the most interesting part of the story. The neighborhood is. Indian Creek is one of the most exclusive communities in the entire country. There are fewer than 50 waterfront states. The island has its own police department and is home to some of the biggest names in business, entertainment, and sports. We're talking about neighbors like Jeff Bezos, Tom Brady, Carl Icahn, and several others high-profile entrepreneurs and celebrities. When people ask me why Miami is attracting so much love and attention, this is exactly why. South Florida has become so much more than a vacation destination. Today is a place where entrepreneurs, investors, athletes, entertainers, and major companies want to invest, live, and work. And speaking of celebrity real estate, I have a fun question for all of you. If Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce ever decides to buy a home in Florida, where do you think they'll buy? Miami Beach? West Palm Beach? Jupiter, Naples? Or somewhere completely different? And Taylor, Travis, if you're somehow watching, just remember, Florida doesn't have state taxes and we have sunshine almost all year round. I'm just saying, we would love to have you. So just let me know your answers in the comments. And while you're there, tell me this. Where in Florida will your dream home be? Luxury homes may grab the headline, but one of the things that make people fall in love with Florida isn't just the real estate, it's the lifestyle. The neighborhoods, the restaurants, the small businesses, and the people behind it. That's why I would like to highlight a business that I believe deserves a little extra attention. Today's local pick is B2H Medical Laser, a Hispanic woman-owned, which I have been a patient for over 10 years. What I love about this place is that they treat you like family, you're not just a number. Because buying a home is not just about buying a property, it's about finding the right community. And these local experiences is what really makes South Florida feel like home. We cover a lot today, from a new Florida lot to the market update to luxury real estate. So before we finish, let's bring everything together and see what this means to you. If you're thinking about buying a home, today's market brings you a lot more opportunity than you have seen in a long time. There are more homes available, more choices, and often more room to negotiate. If you're planning to sell, remember that preparation is everything. Pricing a strategy, presenting your home well, and having a strong marketing plan is more important than ever. If you are already a homeowner, stay informed about changes in the Florida law that could affect your property. And if you are in the real estate industry, never forget this. Our job isn't just about what is happening in the market. It's about staying informed and explain it in a way that help our clients make informed decisions. And that's really the biggest takeaway from this update. Real estate is always changing, but when you understand what is happening and most importantly, why it matters, you can make smarter and more confident decisions. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone that loves South Florida. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next week. Until then, stay informed, inspire, and remember, the headlines tell you what's happened. My goal is to help you understand what it means for you.